A long time ago, the people of Israel were at war with another nation called the Philistines. The two armies stood on opposite sides of a large valley. Every day, they prepared for battle. But no one wanted to fight. The reason was a giant named Goliath. Goliath was one of the stronger soldiers in the Philistine army. He was over 9 feet tall. He wore heavy bronze armor that covered his whole body. He carried a huge spear and a large shield. Just looking at him was enough to make people afraid. Every morning and every evening, Goliath walked into the valley and shouted at the army of Israel. He would say, "Choose one man to fight me. If he defeats me, we will become your servants. But if I defeat him, you will become our servants." For 40 days, Goliath repeated the same challenge. The soldiers of Israel were terrified. Even King Saul, the king of Israel, was afraid. Not one person was brave enough to fight the giant. Now,
Be still.
there was a young boy named David. David was not a soldier. He was a shepherd. Every day, he took care of his father's sheep. While watching the sheep, David spent time talking to God. He sang songs of praise. He prayed. And he trusted God with all his heart. One day,
Take this.
David's father asked him,
Care for our flock
"Take this food to your older brothers.
and walk with courage.
They are serving in the army. Go and see how they are doing."
Courage. Care.
David gladly obeyed.
Take
He
this
picked
and
up the
walk with
food
courage. Care for our
and started his journey to the battlefield. As soon as David
One
arrived,
who needs it.
he heard a loud voice.
I bring bread and
It was Goliath. The giant was shouting his challenge once again.
moment.
David watched as the soldiers of Israel turned around
A moment.
and ran away in fear.
I will stand
He could not believe what he was seeing.
stand
He asked, "Why is everyone running away? Why is no one standing up to this giant?" The soldiers answered, "Don't you see how big he is? No one can defeat him." But David saw things differently. He believed that no matter how big Goliath was, God was much greater. David said, "This giant is speaking against the living God. The Lord will help us defeat him." When King Saul heard about David, he called for
I
him.
will face the giant for
David stood before the king and said,
I will face the
"Do not be afraid.
Go with God's strength.
I will fight Goliath."
giant for Israel.
King Saul looked at the young
I will
shepherd
face the giant for Israel.
and said,
Go with God's strength.
"You are only a boy.
The giant for Israel.
Goliath has been a warrior for many years." But David smiled.
Courage steadies the
Then he replied, "When I was taking care of my father's sheep, a lion attacked them.
speed.
Another time, a bear came. God helped me defeat both of them. The same God who protected me then, will protect me now." King Saul listened carefully. Finally, he agreed. He gave David his own armor to wear. David tried to walk, but the armor was too heavy. He was not used to wearing it.
faith
So, David took it off.
with my sling and
Instead, he picked up his shepherd's staff.
face him with my sling and
He took his sling. Then he walked to a nearby stream and chose 5 smooth stones. That was all he carried. Because David's confidence was not in weapons. His confidence was in God.
Face him.
When Goliath saw David walking toward him,
Face him without
he laughed loudly.
face.
He looked at the young shepherd and mocked him.
Face him without
He said, "Is this the best soldier you could find? You sent a little boy to fight me."
face him.
But David was not afraid. He looked straight at Goliath and said, "You come against me with a sword, a spear, and a shield. But I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty. Today, God will give me victory." Then David began to run toward the giant. He placed one smooth stone into his sling.
people.
He swung it around
Prepare yourself!
and around
This is for my people.
with all his strength. Then,
It's done.
he released the stone.
It's done.
The stone flew through the air at great speed. It struck Goliath right on the forehead. Immediately, the giants fell to the ground. The mighty warrior, who had frightened an entire army, was defeated by one small stone and the power of God. When the Philistine soldiers saw their giant fall, they became afraid. They turned around and ran away.
Not do this alone.
The army of Israel shouted with joy. God had given them a great victory. From that day on, David became known throughout the land as the brave young man
I will trust the Lord.
who trusted God.